Ted Cruz is out of line for this.
Elizabeth Warren told reporters that a guy came up to her and said, "I would have voted for you if only you had a penis." Now let me say two things about that. Number one, that story is a lie. Produce this fictional person because this human being does not exist. That is not even 1/1024th true. But number two, in today's Democrat Party, how do we know she doesn't?
Let me say this and let's be clear about it, right? If you want to get into your bipartisan bullshit and talk about Democrats and talk about Elizabeth Warren, you can do that. But you ain't got to pour this old trans, homo, negative bullshit into it with it. You see what I'm saying? The reality is in America, trans people are always already seen as exposable and disposable. When you get a whole bunch of grown-ass adults making penis jokes laughing, it literally feeds into the exposability. What does it mean for the party of all lives matter to weaponize transphobia for political gain? That video really pissed me off. The same people that'll say America is the freest country and we have life and liberty and pursuit of happiness and anybody can be whatever they want to be in this country is the same folks that'll push marginalization on entire communities. And that's on the Constitution? And speaking of the Constitution, right, these folks will use their political authority to pass legislation that say you cannot say gay or anything about the LGBTQ community in the classroom, and then they'll use their authority to trivialize LGBTQ community identities for their own political gain. It seems so self-serving. Talk about rappers or Muslims or anybody they see as oppositions. They understand how people create climates and how those climates create results, right? But when it comes to the shit they pushing, they don't have that same connection. But it really is one. What do you mean by that, consciously? In 2019, Texas led the nation in transgender murders. And in 2022, Texas leaders like Ted Cruz are fueling their political campaigns with waging war against trans youth. That little transphobic joke and them fake laughs I heard in the audience was very telling. A lot of Texas Republicans like Ted Cruz, they say they pro-life and they care about kids until those kids are trans. Texas Supreme Court throws out protections for trans youth. And this is why I started getting a little controversial. I don't give a damn if you Ted Cruz, Dave Chappelle, the homie down the street, or my daddy. Once you start trying to make them old archaic ass jokes about identities that's already seen as exposable and disposable, like trans people or gay people or fat people, I'm gonna look at you crazy as hell and ready to call you out. Especially if you claim you're for humanity, especially if you claim to be a public figure, especially if you claim to be for people in communities. Republicans, Democrats, and comedians alike gonna be like, oh, you guys are too sensitive, you can't take a joke. Nah, you sensitive, you can't take a criticism or critique of your joke. Have a good day, do better.